I so look, I've never actually meditated. I've never done it. I've never tried it. It
Right.
feels to me a bit like when somebody says to me, "Have you ever tried praying?"
Right.
And I think to myself, I like, sure, I'm not like anti praying. I
Hmm.
just feel like I could sit down, I could put my hands together, and I could, you know, say words to the
Hmm.
sky. But I feel like unless I already have some credence in this actually being something, I'm literally unable to pray
Yeah.
because I don't believe in the necessary, prerequisite assumptions that one needs to have to make it an actual prayer. And I suppose I feel similarly about meditation. Like it's not something that I've ever.
But it's different because it's not assuming the existence of something that you are disposed to doubt, right? So with prayer, you doubt that there's an invisible God that you could be addressing through any kind of propitiatory prayer.
Mm.
So and that's why I'm saying I don't make this move into metaphysics where I say that because I can experience my conscious mind free of a sense of self, that means consciousness is the substratum in which everything is arising, including this universe, and I'm experiencing the thing that preceded the Big Bang. I mean, there are people like Deepak Chopra will say things like that
Yeah.
as a result of having an experience in meditation, and that's totally unwarranted, right? I mean, it's just not scientific. It's I mean, you can't even know that you have a brain by meditating. Like paying close attention to your experience doesn't tell you anything about your brain, even that it exists, right? Which is a pretty big
Mm.
lacuna in your self understanding. So meditation is good for some insights, but it's not good for making contact with what I'm calling the metaphysics or even the physics of things. So you're right to doubt. Uh,
When I listen to Sam Harris talk about meditation, it's really refreshing. I mean, the guy has a meditation app called Waking Up. So you would assume that he would say everything under the sun about how meditation can do this and that and all this type of stuff. But he's just so realistic and he's so honest about his interpretation about meditation and what it can do for you and how normal everyday people, whether you believe in a higher power or not, can sit down and meditate. And, meditation can be very challenging because the idea of meditation, for those that are unfamiliar, have never tried it or are skeptical about it, the idea of meditation is that you're sitting down with oneself, hoping to connect deeper with being in the present moment. Now, thoughts are going to come and go. They're going to travel around. You can think of them like a snow globe, and hopefully they just trickle down all the way to the bottom. But there's hopefully this sort of non-judgmental appreciation of the present moment is really what meditation is about. And, I've talked a lot about habits and goals in some of my recent podcast episodes. And just like meditation, if you want to start a meditation practice, the best thing you can possibly do is make that habit too small to fail. And so you can also make it an algorithm. If this, then what? I want to start meditating more. Okay, by the end of the year, I want to be able to meditate 3 times a week for 15 minutes at a time. Great. First step in that is making it too small to fail and saying, every time I walk through a door, I'm going to take a deep breath. If I walk through a door, then I take a deep breath. If I go to the bathroom, then I take a deep breath. If I stand up from my chair, then I take a deep breath. So you're just rotating more and more conscious awareness and deep breaths into your life. So when you do sit down for a 2 minute, 3 minute, 4 minute, 6 minute, 7 minute period, it becomes more natural because you know how to utilize your breath. You know what it means to sit in the present moment, to have sort of harsh thoughts come in and try to let them go and be non-judgmental about being exactly where your feet are. And so that's sort of the practical application of thinking about meditation. And I love how, I mean, Sam Harris can get very wordy at times if you listen to his podcast, but he becomes very succinct and practical about the ideas of meditation, which I find, very charming.